we've actually released, with the current report that goes out this week, 3 reports on cloud based on 3 successive quarterly survey efforts to give Canadians a sense as to what's happening in Canada with the cloud. At the beginning of each of the 652 surveys that we've done on cloud, we asked a question. We asked each respondent to identify which of 5 statements would best describe their organization's current position with respect to cloud. Is it the center point of all your operations? Have you pushed everything out to the cloud? Are you in one way or another melding cloud and traditional infrastructure together? Are you not using cloud but planning to, or do you have no plans to use cloud? And what we found, if you look at our results across time, the one line which is clearly sloping down is we have no plans to use cloud. And in fact, because this is aggregate data over time, the individual quarterly results would paint an even steeper slope than this. The 2 lines that are going up are organizations saying, in one way or another, we are melding cloud and traditional infrastructure together. Which, when you think about it, is the likely output for virtually every organization that operates in Canada, is an IT infrastructure over time that combines physical and virtual infrastructure together to support users. And the 2 lines that really haven't moved at all over time are the organizations that say they are planning to use cloud sometime in the future, which is right around 17–18%. And the organizations that say, we've just moved everything to the cloud, which is consistently 1–3% of respondents, always small, medium businesses. Unsurprisingly, not a single large organization has said that to us at this point. Based on these results, we report a Canadian Cloud Index, which is kind of like a temperature or gauge for cloud in Canada. If everybody had given us that top answer on the previous slide, cloud is the center point of everything we do, this thermometer would be at 100. If everybody had given us the bottom answer, we are not using cloud and have no plans, the thermometer would be at 0. As of March, it was at 32.6. It went up about 10% in the June quarter, even allowing for the fact that these are aggregate results. And then up to 35.6, so just a slight tick in our September findings. Which led, the question in our internal conversations, do we think we're plateauing here? Are people stopping to digest cloud? And the answer is we don't think that's the case. But we do think the nature of the cloud question is changing. It's, we had in our earlier surveys sense kind of a panic. The train is leaving. I have to jump on before it leaves the station. As Lee Iacocca said, don't just stand there, do something. And what we're finding now is that the nature of the question has changed from do something to do something that matters. Do something with the cloud other than just dip your toe in the water and see if it works. Do something that has some tangible benefit to the organization that you work for, because other organizations are also starting to figure out how to derive tangible benefit from the cloud. One more slide before I move into the second 360 revolution around the industry. I have a theory, and I'll go into it a little bit more in the afternoon session, that the pace of technology adoption, any technology, not just cloud, is gated far more by users' willingness to adopt that technology, or readiness to adopt it, than it is by the capability of the technology itself. And what we find here, when we asked, just in our last quarter, so just 142 respondents, how ready are your users? And we broke them into 3 groups: business users, business management, and IT users, because some of the objection and pushback comes from within the IT department. How ready are your people to embrace cloud? We found 36% on average were completely ready, which is interesting because that number is exactly where our thermometer is today. So based on that, have we plateaued? Heck no, because we got 28% that are somewhat ready. We have massive scope for increase in user readiness for the cloud. We have, of course, security obstacles and pushback on that, and Warren's got a section that will talk about that in his breakout session this morning. But we do see substantial scope for increase in cloud adoption over the next 12 months.